This is winter anime.
This is Christmas music. Boo.
Chicka-woo-hoo, hoo. Chicka-boo-hoo, hoo.
In the last round,
We have Plunderer versus Nekopara.
please, God, someone tell me about one of these shows.
Now, before we get into either of these,
We should apologize. We accidentally, intentionally
both of
picked these.
So when they say
Nekopara is my fault.
when they say we,
and I apologize to the world for this.
Yeah, when they say we, I was nowhere near. I'm Ray.
Oh, yeah, Ray's here. Hi,
Again.
Ray.
We haven't introduced ourselves in any of these, but that's fine.
That's fine.
I'm DJ, he's Eric, that's Ray.
Hey, you can't take my bit.
I'm the one that's mad this time.
Ain't nobody happy about it. No, I'm Ray, please.
So, Nekopara. It opens up with Big Brother is watching. No, it doesn't. But it's very Orwellian. It's very.
Ray,
I get it. I can pick up what he's laying down.
Ray, this show opens with, "Hey, you know what a cat is?" and then it proceeds to not tell you what a cat is, but tells you about something else entirely.
Let Ray talk about the Orwellian dystopia that is Nekopara.
So there is cat people, but they're just cats. They're not even people. They're just cats.
No, they're people. They're people.
They're cats.
Well, they're cat girls.
Yeah, cats don't exist in this world.
No, they do.
They do.
I mean, they do, but not cats as we know them.
No, they're cat people.
Cat people run like the wind.
That's true.
Especially in this show. Although, actually, no, not like
Can't
in this
help
show.
but notice you didn't say the other thing cat people do like the wind. They get damp, Ray.
They get real. Listen.
So this show.
This show opens up with an attempted boob kneading. KNEEDING, right? Is that how you spell it?
Yeah.
Yeah, kneading.
Kneading.
Like you need dough.
Yeah, but like
As an expert on kneading, yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, he works at a pizza place.
I don't know if you would call yourself an expert.
He needs every day.
Anyway, I distracted. You were telling me about your cats.
Yeah, I have two of them, and they sleep in the same bed.
And they're named Vanilla and Chocolat?
Yeah, and one refers to themselves in the third person at all times.
Well, that's Moe, Ray.
Ray,
Have some fucking culture.
that's a personifying trait that's supposed to make you think that they're a young Japanese girl or boy. Because as you may or may not know, Japanese
don't defend
people.
this.
No, I'm literally explaining.
He's explaining.
I know
He's
you're
not
explaining.
defending.
Japanese children are often characterized as talking in the third person when they're young.
Yeah.
Babaka.
You babaka.
Anyway, so
It's not like you're uncultured or anything.
it's time to wake up.
It's time to wake up because we have a cafe to run.
You died 5 years ago in a cat accident.
Right. So. Oh my god.
Glasses are coming off.
There's not enough Smirnoff in the world.
There's not enough. Oh my god.
Hey, Eric, you got any more of those oranges?
I was just about to say, Eric, you got some more of those screwdrivers ready?
I don't.
Like
I don't have the oranges anyway.
Like I had to walk away from the show 3 separate times. Just to give my mind a break from.
It was really hard that night when we selected this, and I went home and I watched this show and Interspecies Review, and I was to not just send a text message saying I'm fucking sorry, just because I didn't want to let you guys know oh, DJ fucked up real bad, and we have to watch this fuck up eventually.
So.
I'm learning something fascinating that I hadn't anticipated, is that you guys hated this show a lot more than I did.
I hated this show.
Okay.
This show was terrible.
Hate's a strong word.
No, I hate this show.
Hate's a strong word. I wouldn't use it that I necessarily hated it.
Chocola is terrible. She's just annoying as hell.
She is annoying. They're all annoying in their own way.
Yeah.
Because there's the two main kids who operate a cafe with their master.
Owner.
Nope. They refer to it as.
That's a maid motif thing. That's not a cat thing.
Yeah.
I'm going with what was presented in this show.
Ray recognized the fucking trope.
No. It's okay. I just want to be clear that you understand this isn't like an S&M thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't until they start talking about earning their bells. Then it becomes.
No, that's the Orwellian part.
Dear God, this show is so okay. So there's the cafe cats. Then there's the sister of the cafe owner who has 5 house cats, 2 of which go to the cafe to co-work. Then they talk about tuna. They need to get vinegar. Then there's a stray cat. I can't.
That one of the other cats steals.
Yeah, I can't even.
I followed her home.
Fair.
And then there's the whole lesbian sort of
It's
subplot.
called anime.
It's
called a hentai light novel video game.
I don't think it is.
I mean, it's a light novel video or a visual novel.
But I think there's a distinction there.
I mean, I'm not saying like
it's on the Switch.
I'm just saying there is
a censored version.
There is a subplot that is very that.
I guarantee the Switch version has Steam. The Steam version has no Steam. Ironically.
Whatever they're talking about. Point being is there is still that plot where like if one cat feeds another cat fruit, they're going to get damp, and that's it. That's where I was like, I'm done.
Well, no, because she's in love with the other cat.
I know.
Cats don't genders don't matter so much in the animal kingdom, bro. Get off your fucking high horse. I say boy dogs fuck other boy dogs. Cat.
I'm
not saying there's.
Hold on a minute. There's a lot wrong with what you just said. We don't have time to unpack it because we have to talk about this show as much as we can to not talk about the other show. But I just want to make it known that I contest what you just said. Ray, I think it's What's that term that I shouldn't say on the podcast?
Go on.
I think this is one of those situations where it's more of it's not actual Yuri. It's fake Yuri.
Yeah.
For clicks. But like almost in universe also.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know if Ray is putting together what I just said, or if he's just thinking about whether or not he wants me to pour him a drink.
That relationship is more of a Koshujin-sama, like sort of thing.
Bless you.
Like I don't think it's actual.
I don't think but I'm just from my perspective.
Yeah.
My uncultured swine perspective. I guess.
Thank you for being clear.
Your words, but
I know, right? Apparently.
My words too.
Yeah.
Look, man.
Just is so bad. And when the two cats are fighting, I was like, there's some shots in there. I was like, you know, and
I mean, they set out to. They did what they said on the tin, man.
Yeah, they did.
I guess they get an point for being honest, for being true to form.
Cat Paradise is not at all what I think at all about that.
Neko Para, Cat Paradise.
So, pros. This show could have been
Smile on the Runway.
Worse. For all of the camera angles that we did,
there were a lot that we didn't.
There were a lot that we didn't. There was a lot that we could have been. We could have been on the other side of doors that we weren't.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could have been, in so many other ways, just absolutely just let down by the direction of the show.
I get that.
From the director. And, like, for all of the... I don't even know what you call a group of cats. For the pride of cat girls that the show has. This series, in episode 1, was remarkably restrained in scope and scumbaggery.
Okay. Yeah.
It could have been much worse. Probably because it was the TV version and not the Blu-ray uncensored.
I recently watched Killing Bites, another show
Yeah, you did.
that ostensibly contains CATGIRLS. This show
Oh dear God.
is a lot more restrained.
Right. Well, no, but I'm telling you, like, my experience.
By the way, this clouder of cats.
You can leave.
Just looked it up.
I stand by the pride of cats.
Yeah, I like the Pride better.
I like Pride better too. I'm kind of mad that I know that a group of cats is now called a clouder.
Yeah, you can see your mind's a little cloudier.
Hey.
Chowdier.
Because he hasn't been playing the Steam version.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
clouds
yeah.
got to go somewhere.
Yeah. Ew. Just, ew.
Censorship
I hate-
clouds.
Yeah, I know. But like, this show was rough to get through.
All right, let's talk about a good show, Plunderer. Eric, look at your face.
Go on.
Eric,
No.
no.
I want Eric.
No, yeah, I was saying, Eric,
summarize.
you summarize the show. Me
I
and
want-
Ray have been doing all the other heavy lifting.
No, that's not true. But like,
Okay.
but like, I genuinely, yeah, dude. Do you need a stretch?
I say Eric needs to crack his knuckles,
Do you
which
need
is
a
really
stretch?
gross. I'm sure that picked up.
May have gotten on there.
Okay. So, Plunderer. I'm going to start by saying that weeks ago, months ago probably, I made a statement that was, it may be in a recording, I don't remember, where I said, there's a show coming out called Plunderer, and there's a 50-50 shot it's going to be good. And I think I said very specifically, it's either going to be an interesting battle manga, or it's going to be...
Plunderer.
And then cut to a minute from now as I explain what it ended up being, because it is the other timeline. Plunder as a show is a I guess it's sort of a Dungeons and Dragons-ish world, time frame wise, and people have numbers just on them, and these numbers ascribe a certain value to their life, and the number go up and the number go down. The number go up is different for each person, it seems, or at least it can be unique. The number go down, they don't really explain it terribly well. It's just sort of like how you live your life. That's how the first episode explains it.
Yeah.
Now, there is an added thing. If your number reaches 0, you get dragged to the Shadow Realm. No Millennium Puzzle, no Last Chance Duel. You're just
for
gone.
now, we don't know Millennium Puzzle. I'm saying the crossover can
You
happen.
got those ballots.
Yeah, dude.
So there's also
Fucking Jesus.
there's also what is either a MacGuffin or a plot device, depending,
Both.
called a ballot. And they kept saying it, and I kept thinking, you really want to say ballot, but you can't.
But you can't, 'cause it's
And a
copyright
ballot
infringement.
just seems to be an object with a high number on it.
Yeah, the number 10,000, at least in this case.
Yeah. So
Who
the
knows
main
if the other ones look like, have
They
different numbers.
explained it. They hint upon more.
Did they?
Yes, they did actually.
Okay.
But go ahead.
so
I'll bring it in.
So the main character is handed a ballot by her mother as she's dragged to the Shadow Realm. I guess she lost to Malik or whatever. And she's told
Oh damn!
she's
You
told
son
to
of a
go
bitch.
find the legendary ace. And she spends years
5 years, I think?
just walking about looking for it.
Yeah, and this is how we know that, like, not all, like, numbers are unique, because, like...
Yeah, her number go up when she walks a certain distance.
And we find out that multiple people have this, and it's like for this a set distance for everyone.
Yeah. So she shows up in town, and she's got a pretty good number at this point. She's putting the work in. Her Fitbit says 440.
Her Fitbit.
And she immediately gets creeped on by
a sex criminal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we throw around the term sex criminal a lot. Most of the time it's as a joke because DJ is, and I quote, a bad man.
Excuse me.
However, today, without a hint of irony, exaggeration, or misunderstanding of the phrase, this character is a sex criminal. Wherein he is swimming in a foot bath, trying to beg hot ladies
to spread their
legs or give him change. This may sound like a yokai. It is a man in the show.
It is a man.
Of course.
To find out who this mystery man is.
Of course, being a person with at least half a functional brain, at least half, our main character beats feet out of there.
Apparently this bedeviling spirit, too, who is actually a man.
Who is wearing a no mask,
yes,
of all things.
Yeah. Is well known around this town, too. And every time a woman gets near him, they proceed to kind of kick him around like a soccer ball.
And he has a Final Fantasy-ass name, too, that I've forgotten.
Licht,
yeah.
Yes, Licht. Like my favorite character in the Black Clover. So, there's also a character in Black Clover named Licht. He's no one's favorite. But he's better than this guy.
It's hard not to be.
So the main character runs into another person, and they run a food cart, basically. And they're
seemingly a not very good one.
Yeah, seemingly a not very good one, because we were explained, among other important plot points, that this character's number only go up when she's complimented on how delicious her food is.
And we find this out because our main character, the girl that got the ballot handed to her by her mom, doesn't know why the magic number on her leg, on her inner thigh, changes. So she's like, wait, what's a count? I don't know. I live in this world. I saw my mom get swallowed up by the ground, and I don't know why for some reason. Can you explain to me and the audience what a count is?
Well, you've hit the nail there on the head. This character has to be a mountain troll bumpkin.
You know what's so stupid?
To give the plot a reason to explain it.
Yeah, you know what's so stupid is I can actually explain that off, and it's very fucking stupid. But go ahead. I'm not going to right now. Okay.
Well, no.
Okay.
She doesn't know what a count is?
No, but because okay. She doesn't know what a count is because her mother did not tell her, right? Okay.
Why? Bad mom.
Hold on.
Well, she did get into the Shadow Realm.
Exactly. Hold on, because I think her mother, and this is a spoiler for the rest of the episode, was a part of that group.
What group?
That is alluded to
the legendary aces of
correct.
The ballot holders.
Exactly.
Ballot holders.
I think she was a part of that group and kind of like don't go into my life, kid. Like she put the costume in the closet.
But still,
hold on. No.
She needs to make sure her daughter's number isn't 0.
Well, maybe she didn't think her number was going to get to 0, and kind of
but still, she knows that her somehow they all know what their number is, what their number is related to. And she knows she should have been like, oh yeah, I better tell my girl that she better get on a fucking treadmill.
I said I can explain it, but I didn't say it was going to be a good explanation.
Yeah, satisfying explanation.
It's not as satisfying as delicious.
So, sorry, Eric, I interrupted.
That delicious thing is also vague because I don't feel like they explicitly say they're talking about food.
What? Yeah. No. Yeah.
And I think that's I remember them not saying food specifically, and I think that's on purpose, and that's kind of.
I remember listening to it.
We watched Nico Para. That might be the grossest fridge thought so far today.
I remember listening to the Japanese, and because I remember you mentioning that before I even watched it, and she only said if they say umai, which is delicious. Doesn't mention anything about food.
So the character proceeds...
But it does go down if they say it's terrible.
Yeah, if they say it's terrible.
Hers, we have a specific reason why it goes down.
Right, because this exposition character, who exists for exposition.
Just for exposition.
Yep.
That's it.
But she made it to the cover, so she's probably going to come back somehow.
Just for exposition.
That's right.
Just for exposition.
Go on.
Mm-hmm. So she runs into someone that she thinks might be the legendary ace that her mother was talking about.
Rumors foretold.
And he is for sure 1 second. He's on frame for less than 30 full frames. So like within a second of being on frame, you're like, oh, this man is probably also a sex criminal.
It's Bad Roy Mustang.
Bad Roy Mustang. He looks like a character from Fairy Tail too. He looks like Mr. Gone a bit. Anyway, it's another blue-haired guy from Fairy Tail with a fucking tattoo on his face. And he has a star on his face, which makes him the ace, I guess.
Because the legendary ace has a star in his face.
And then he proceeds...
Or covered in stars.
Erna has a white star.
Yeah, he has a white star.
He proceeds to be a sex pest. And it turns out that if you have a higher number in the world, you're basically allowed to treat the people around you like... human refuse or burnable garbage, just whatever you want. As long as
you're fucking slaves.
As long as your number's higher, you own them.
But it doesn't actually work like that because
yeah, it seems to be more of like a social cue than an actual law of time and space.
Yeah, because like I half expected when she said like, wait, you have to listen to me because my number's higher than you. I expected like those abyss hands to come out and start grabbing him.
You expected her eye to suddenly become a Gias and he would be like, yes, your highness. That's for you, Ray.
I really appreciate you.
Thank you. That doesn't happen.
No,
what happens instead is he pulls out a sword and says, I challenge you to a duel. And she says, a what? And he says, do you duel or do you sex pest? To which she says, well, if those are my only options, I choose duel. To which he proceeds to non-sexually choke her.
He says... he says, say uncle. Say uncle, bitch.
Say psych. Say psych. At which point, she says psych, and he steals 439 of her 440 count.
Yeah.
And then he goes, by the way, this is not a real white star on my face. It's a sticker. You a dumb.
At which point, he's like, hey, you want me to fucking just... or she's like, that's not fair. That you're not a nice man.
He's like, you want a double or nothing, kid? To which point...
I'll take your last count.
So then Kamen Rider sex criminal...
Oh my god.
Like, Rider kicks into frame and then says, I will fight as her proxy. And then he gets punched in the face with a sword and his mask breaks and he does have a star. And a sword.
He doesn't have a star in his face.
He also got a haircut.
He also got a haircut
because the guy was Bad Roy Mustang was slashing at him.
Now keep in mind this is
his hair.
This is how the show rewards a very observant viewer in the lowest denomination.
Enlighten us, Ray.
Hold on, no. So, Kamen Rider shows up, and they're like, ha 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 ha. Look at it. Mind you, Sex Pest has a posse, right?
Yeah,
there's the voyeurist society.
He has a posse of, which I should have brought up. He has a posse of probably cutouts on dollies.
Yeah,
because their faces don't move at all.
Absolutely not.
And they're not drawn in a normal face.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
Sex Pest is joined by 4 Sex Pest familiars, pest imps, as you might call them. And they just sort of leer in the corner of the room as he's proceeding to be a sex pest, and then a almost murderer.
So, wait, what?
This happened.
I don't remember this
does
at
happen.
all.
So, but the only time that they actually chime in, besides like the
smirking and going, she's getting sex pested.
Yeah, she's going to get choked real good. But like,
they're like, he's got a negative number.
Yeah, they're like, haha, he's got a negative number. What a loser.
Now, Ray, are you about to say that's not a negative? That's a hyphen.
No.
Because I got the sense that was a hyphen.
I was wondering about that too, actually.
But no. But then they were like, "Oh, it's a negative number," and then he gets punched in the face, and then they realize.
Then after after 20 seconds, they realize what every viewer realized after a fucking half second. Wait.
That they've wasted 20 minutes of their time. Because he gets a haircut, is unfazed, pulls out a sword, and then this fucking episode ends before the fight starts.
It ends on a hero pose.
No, it ends on a sex criminal pose.
It was a sex criminal pose. That's
or
right.
a sex criminal posing.
How dare this show?
Now, here, first off, how dare this show? We can come back to the show, but I want to make this statement now before we go back to talk more about Plunderer. How the fuck are we supposed to look at these two shows and say, yes, 4 more of that one?
Because the alternative is Nekopara.
No. I'm not saying which one we should pick. I'm saying we have to pick one. Anyway, so you were going to say about Plunderer.
How dare this show take the probably scummiest character I've seen out of probably almost any anime I've seen and make him the fucking hero. And not even in like a good way. Like he's like not like even in like a desert punk way. He is just a bad person.
He reminds me of Haseo.
He reminds me of that.
Haseo was
the
too
main
pussyfoot.
Design-wise, I mean.
Oh yeah, design-wise.
It kind of was like the plot, or at least the plot of the first episode, Seven Deadly Sins, where like the princess is trying to find. Like,
You're right. Meliodas is also a sex criminal.
correct, but like more charming, I guess.
Is he? Or
No.
or does he look like a child?
He looks
And
like a
so
child.
you laugh it off, but then you're like, wait, he's how old?
And then you're like, oh no, he's okay. But like it is quite literally the first episode. Not quite literally, but like it is very strongly.
There's some
first
parallels.
episode. Yeah, very much so. And
So you're gonna pick this show based on the fact that it could become Seven Deadly Sins?
yeah, actually,
No.
I really do like Seven Deadly Sins
I do
a lot.
I do agree with what you're saying.
I know you do.
Of like, it is a baffling choice to make this character the main, one of the two,
main
let's call
boys.
it main characters.
It's our main boy at least.
Because this character, 100%, I believe they're in a show. Like, they belong in a show. That's where they belong. Not in real life. Not in a history book. In a show, yeah, put them there. But to make them the protagonists...
Yeah, like this seems like a scumbag like sidekick.
It's like... It would be like if you watched Shield Hero and all the things he's accused of, he did.
Wow, yeah.
And also, he wore a no mask.
To make it that much creepier.
Right.
To hide his fucking beautiful shonen face.
He's a bit more chiseled than your average shonen.
Yeah, fair. He's like
Now
shonen
Fumi,
protagonist.
not Licht.
So, yeah, the question is now, licked or chocolate?
Licked. Not even, I will watch more Plunderer.
I think Plunderer. Yeah,
Over
I mean, I
Nekopara.
already voted Plunderer because like
I did not expect this.
voted.
honestly.
I'm gonna vote Plunderer just because I think
I'm voting against my vote.
out of hot garbage, it's gonna be hotter garbage, and therefore more fun.
How dare this fucking show?
Okay, I know that I'm on a losing side of this.
Wow.
And I know that this is playing very heavily into a fucking meme iteration of my identity on this channel. But I'll fucking take Nico Para over Plunderer.
You and your monster girls, or your animal girls.
I'm just saying, one of these is nothing, and the other one baffles and, in its own way, seems to try to offend me. But I'm willing to take the L of, you guys both want Plunderer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
If I had a gun to my head, if I had to pick one,
I'd pick none.
Take the bullet. Enjoy that dinner of hot lead.
I wish that we had prepared a contingency plan in which there was a 9th secret show that only I knew, and we could pick neither and switch that show
Do you
in.
have a 9th secret show?
I was just about to suggest a 5th seed, or no, not like a 5th bracket that we do that we can like record later of Inspector versus Maple Story. Just so because we're gonna need another episode anyways. Well,
No.
just that way we can get closer to the halfway point of the seasons.
If you wanted to do a 5th seed, we could do it of another matchup, but
Because I know we wanted to do Inspector, or you won't really want to do Inspector, and I really want to do Maple Story.
I just really wish that those 2 shows were here instead of almost any of the other shows.
We could watch both of them right now and then record an episode.
That's a thing we could do. I mean, whichever we choose.
I put my proposition on the floor to let the jury decide.
Okay, let's close this episode out and we can decide that.
Okay, so Plunderer, begrudgingly, I declare that Plunderer has moved on from.
Versus, if my pop idol makes it to Budokan, I would die.
Oh,
Do you remember earlier when I said I looked at the thing and I realized who won the tournament already?
yeah, I already know.
Because there's a real
Hence why I want to add a 5th bracket.
Yeah, whatever.
It's room camp, right?
Yeah,
Definitely.
Room
The
Camp
one that
already
won.
lost, but well, we could have a losers bracket.
Oh God, no!
No, I don't want. Don't make me watch more of these.
Yeah, we'll put that at the very end of the season. We have to secretly watch. We'll pick 2 of the 4 shows that lost, and we'll watch all of both of them, and then we'll pick that show, and that will come back to fight the real champion as a dark horse. That's not happening, and this isn't staying in the
kinda like
episode
this.
so that people don't think we're doing it.
I kind of like it.
This was the end of round 1 of the tournament, guys.
Can we get a summary?
So, what was it?
Our
Our bracket winners.
Somalia.
Yeah, Somalia.
Yeah,
We
Somalia.
have
Entire
what was it? Interspecies
Interspecies
Reviewer.
review.
versus interspecies.
If my favorite pop idol made it to Budokan, and Plunderer. Now these
What
should.
a lineup!
Now the next episode should come out the week directly following this, but a month will have passed for us
Yeah.
because that's how this was set up, so that we would have time to get through more of the shows to rue the day.
I'm excited.
So just out of 10, how much was anime a mistake?
9 out of 10.
8.5.
I'd say 7. It's no high school dice club.
Fair. God damn you for continuously bringing that up.
After School Dice Club is a charming show. Let me tell you, audience.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.